Chapter 3. Lopez picked 3 guys, Connors, Wilcox, and Escobar. They weren't much older than Jill or me, 18 or 20-year-olds, but all 3 of them complained about having kids on the team. What they really meant was having girls on the team. I couldn't believe they said that, but when they found out I was co-team lead along with Lopez, they threatened to quit. Lopez pulled rank and set them down one at a time and talked to each of them. My only pick was Jill Addison. Just as in high school, the J&J team was together again. I picked her because she always had my back. We protected each other, and if I made a mistake, she always covered for me or took the blame. I did the same for her. When she did a good job, I let everyone know. She did the same for me. We worked the guys the same way, teaming up against them. They used to get so nervous when talking to us, and with 2 of us, we kept them pretty well away. Plus, Jill had a thing for Lopez, even though I couldn't stand the guy. She worried about Lopez whenever he was on a mission, just as I worried for Jim Barnett. Lopez abruptly took me aside, grabbing my elbow and steering me away to a quiet corner, and whispered in my ear, Make no mistake, Julie. You are on this mission only because Winters said you are. It's stupid to have a civilian, a scab, on this mission. I've got orders, and I'll obey those orders because Winters gave them, but that's the only reason. I hated being grabbed and yanked my arm from his grasp, but he continued his barrage. As far as those guys are concerned, you are part of the team, but if you screw up this mission, it's on you. You better watch out for yourself and what? I hated the guy. You aren't bringing Jill, he ordered. She's my friend. She's going. No, she's not. Winters said to pick anyone we trust. I trust Jill. It's too dangerous. Lopez, I know you 2 have a thing going on. It's not that, he interrupted me. She can handle herself. She doesn't have any training. My father taught her to shoot a revolver, shotgun, and rifle. I trained her in stick fighting, a skill my dad taught me before he died. She's not going. He taught us both how to use a knife. He said, you never know when you're going to run into a cougar, a bear, or a zombie. She's going. No, she's not. Damn it, Lopez, don't be an ass. She loves you and it drives her nuts whenever you leave. That has nothing to do with it. You can keep an eye on her. You can protect her. We don't need that. I don't need that responsibility. Not now, jerk. She's not going. She is going. She's my friend, and she always has my back. She's there when I need her. Winters said I'm a lead on this job. You don't like it? Shove it. I walked away from Lopez, wondering exactly what kind of turd he was. The argument didn't help to ease my worries about the mission or my fear for Jim's safety. I spent the rest of the morning doing laundry. I figured if I followed my normal routines, I would calm my anxieties. I was both scared and excited in equal measures. Who knew what the night would bring? It felt good to be taking action to help Jim and the other missing soldiers. As my laundry soaked in a wash basin, I went to Felix and Dr. Scarborough to have my cast removed. The doctor had gone off someplace, and Felix refused to remove the cast until I lied to him about how long it had been on. He didn't check the records, and I was almost able to convince him with lots of sweet talk. I finally told him I would remove the cast myself if he wouldn't do it. He reluctantly removed the cast. It felt great to have the impediment off. My leg felt fine, but my skin was pale white. Not that I get a lot of sun anyways. The itching stopped, and that was the best relief. Going back to the laundry room, the sound of good-natured laughter rose. It was great to hear laughter, and needing a bit of respite, I stopped to listen. The sounds came from a darkened passage that I passed 10 times a day, but never had reason to go inside. The doors stood ajar, revealing empty blackness beyond. The laughter emanated from the far end of the corridor. While I was walking down the hallway, the voices rose. A cigarette lighter flickered from a doorway. A flashlight played on the walls. I prepared myself to reprimand some young children for playing with fire and wasting batteries, but instead of children, I found Wilcox and Jill smoking a joint and giggling. Suddenly, the flashlight landed on me. Hey, Julie, Wilcox sneered. His cropped red hair stood up in a tangled mess. Want a toke? Jill laughed as she sat on the table. Wilcox sat in a folding chair, leaning back with his legs out and crossed. He played with the lighter while Jill did her best to blind me with the flashlight. No, and get that light out of my eyes. Come on, Jill said. Have a hit. She took the joint from Wilcox and offered it to me. Jill, I said, we have stuff to do. Party pooper. Jill laughed as she took another hit and handed it back to Wilcox. She said, gotta go, Wilcox, and hopped off the table to follow me back to the laundry room. Bye-bye, baby. Later, Raz, Wilcox laughed. He knew I hated that nickname. Jill was silent as we walked, probably sensing my disappointment with her. She had done drugs only once before, and that was with the scabs. I didn't like it, but I didn't see any harm as long as people didn't hurt themselves or anyone else. although our occasional work in the medical labs put us in contact with drugs. I hope she wasn't foolish enough to steal those medicines that were so rare and precious. I rinsed and hung up my clothes to dry and then helped Jill with her laundry. She annoyed me by telling stupid jokes that only she or Wilcox might find funny. We folded community towels and sheets as we took them down from clotheslines strung across the laundry room. Back in the barracks, we stored the laundry into designated shelves before helping each other make our beds with clean sheets that would not be slept in tonight. Suddenly, Wilcox's voice came from the men's side of the barracks. He was swearing. Anger replaced the mean-spirited mirth of his marijuana high as he complained about losing a family photograph of his parents and a sister. He threatened to kill someone as I walked around the shelves to see what was wrong, my steps faltering as his swears grew louder. "What do you want?" he said, too late for me to turn away. "What happened?" I asked cautiously. "Nothing, damn it." The faint odor of marijuana on his clothes mixed with sweaty socks and bubble gum filled the air around him. He chewed gum when he wasn't chewing tobacco, but I couldn't account for the odor of old socks. "What is it?" "Bounce, Rayzor." His eyes held contempt, so I returned to Jill. "He won't tell me," I said to her when I reached our beds. "He said something about losing a photograph." "You heard him?" "Yeah. What was it?" "A family picture, his folks and sister." "That sucks," I said. Losing our families for all of us was the hardest thing to live with. To go on each day knowing that somehow we survived and they didn't, each of us lived with the knowledge that maybe we could have done something differently, and maybe our parents or our siblings would still be alive. Even the toughest soldier crumbled when talking about family members. If Wilcox lost a family photograph, I understood how hard it was for him. Little enough was left of my father and mother to remember them by: a revolver, a Model 12 shotgun, and a few photographs on my cell phone. Recalling the meeting, I remembered that Winters mentioned that somebody was stealing personal items, but a family photo wasn't like a can of deodorant or a bottle of perfume, each valuable on the black market. This theft was a loss that cut to the core of the victim's being. The theft shook our trust in each other. Thieves were here, like anywhere, but this thief stole memories. This thief destroyed dreams. I almost pitied the criminal when caught. Almost. There would be no jail sentence, no military court-martial, not if the victims got their hands on him first. End of chapter 3.